News in the world of Valheim today with an update on their Steam blog. Immediately we notice about this picture, we got some new clothes going on. Let's dive in. They talk about how they didn't do Steam blogs over the holidays. Can't blame them there. They thank all the people that helped out in testing Mistlands and playing it now. But now to the future. The next big biome is going to be Ashlands, and that's what we had expected. They've already started some pre-production on that. They say it'll be quite different from what we're all used to. Interesting. The devs had kind of said before that they wanted Mistlands to be mysterious and everything because it was the first time, or the last time, that they could do something totally unexpected. Because with Ashlands, you kind of knew what you were going to get. But if it's going to be different than what we're all used to, But we'll see. I think the main thing about it being hot is going to stay the same. So they want to do something different this time during development. And it's because with Mistlands, they were super secretive. And it's great for those who want to discover as much as possible themselves, which is the main reason they kept so much hidden. But it's also not very transparent. And so they're going to try to be more transparent about some things. This is always a polarizing thing. Some people love it. Some people hate it. You cannot make everyone happy. But they want to show us a lot more of the progress. So we have a better idea of where they're going. This means that some things we're going to see in early stages. Maybe some things won't even end up making it into the game. So it'll be interesting to see the process. But obviously they're still not totally giving everything away because some things may not even end up there. So here we go. Spoiler, spoiler, chicken dinner. Look away if you don't want to see it. Ta-da! Fiery skeletons called the Charred. They look pretty cool, I gotta say. A long sword, a two-handed sword. Looks like they have skeletons inside of themselves or used for decoration as well. It's almost as if consuming people gives them power. I gotta say, those red eyes and that skull kind of remind me of Terminator. Just saying. Next up, we have the Morgan. I don't know how the Morgan fits into Viking lore. Does anybody know? But he's been eating some people too, because he's got skulls in there as well. This guy looks scary. I'm thinking that it would jump. That's really cool concept art. Because he's even got little teeth on the bottom there, like underneath he could bite as well. That's creepy. So they say we might be able to guess that their design vision for the Ashlands is that it's a land of the dead as well as a place with a volcanic nature, which fits in with what's fiery there now. You know what that makes me wonder about? Back up here on the Charred, it's showing these swords, and in the game files there's the flaming sword, but they've also said that we'll never find anything that's gonna be in the game that is in the files that we just find. Like if we find it in a file, then it's because it isn't in the game or isn't going to be in the game. They decided not to use it. So that makes me think these swords are going to be different somehow than the flaming sword or the fire sword that's currently in the game files. They also say we can rest assured that they are going to have some fun things planned for us between now and then. That's kind of interesting too, because at one point they had said they're just going to focus on the next biome because people complain so much about Mistlands taking so long to get out. And they weren't going to do side projects, but apparently they have decided they are going to do some things to throw us some little bones along the way, so to speak. For one thing, we know it is coming to Xbox early this year, so we can have more crossplay. And I'll be covering that, of course, and including some guides for all our new Xbox buddies. Another interesting thing that they mentioned is working on new difficulty settings. When I had asked Grimcore about this, I don't know, a long time ago, they said that they weren't going to work on that really until after 1.0 released. But it looks like they're moving that up and they're going to give it to us sooner. Because I guess they're really seeing the usefulness of it between people that just want to be creative and build and people that want to go hardcore. They're also working on Hilder's Quest. Sounds like this will be a sideline mission or quest. So Hilder, she'll be a new NPC in the game. I wonder if we'll have to find her like we do the trader. That would be my guess. While Quality was working out Mistlands bugs, the creative team got busy coming up with some new designs, which became the start of this little update. So there is going to be a little update. They say this is still early, so these clothes might get some changes. But this is another one of those kind of little things that players have been asking for a while. It's nice that they listen to us on some of these things that we ask for. And this will give us the diversity so everybody's not always looking the exact same. We'll have something different to wear when we're at home. I wonder if these will have any abilities, like maybe farmer clothes that make you plant faster or plant more than one thing at a time. Builder clothes that decrease fall damage. Maybe not as much as the feather cape, which is like 100%, but something that's specific for builders that they don't die completely as easily. Or are they just decorative? Typically, if anything's going to be added in the game, it has to have a purpose, which makes me think maybe there's a purpose for some of these. Most of them, it looks like the jewelry kind of things are attached to the clothes. So this Thor necklace looks like it could be separate, or maybe it's part of the shirt. There's also a bracelet in some of them, but I don't know if these bracelets are a part of the outfit or if there's something separate. What do you think? So they say a little bit more about Hilder's Quest, that I have some other fun things. Pretty vague, no idea what that is. Like an additional NPC. The eponymous Hilder herself. I'm not gonna lie, I had to look up that word. I didn't know what that meant. Basically, it means like of their name. So it's named the Hilder Quest because Hilder is her name. We're going to get ways to restyle your existing character's hair, which is nice. So more ways to customize our character. People have complained that we all look exactly the same. Same armor, put a helmet on, your hair doesn't show. This will be ways to help us seem a bit more unique looking, which will be nice. And quite a bit, because Valheim has said that they are going to have 8 new outfits and a bunch of different hats. Hats! That's right, hats. So that'll be a lot of mixing it up. Don't worry, this is going to take away any significant amount of time. The way game development works, not everyone can work on the same thing at the same time. So while people are working on some of these things, you know, different people are working on Ashlands. And, you know, sometimes if you're not working on something else, you're just sitting there waiting. So may as well do some additional things in the game and keep things rolling. They're also working on improving the accessibility of the game to people with disabilities and such. That's nice. We have 3 builds of the months since they're catching up. The first one is from Hello Helly. Nice log cabin there. This is from Mythic Builds V. That's an amazing dragon. I'm pretty sure I saw that posted somewhere. I really like the decoration on the floor too. And this last one is from my good buddy, the Basic Builder. I got to see him building a little bit of this in stream. Amazing Mistlands Castle and Bridge. The Basic Builder joined us on Ravenheim for our Season 2 that just started. So if you want to see the most unique and fun playthrough of Valheim, definitely check out Ravenheim. Many of your favorite content creators all in one place. One of the most controversial things, I would say maybe the most controversial thing, that they have ever added into Valheim is the Ballista. I have never seen so many strong opinions about one thing, and it's about it killing the player. So they asked for feedback and they're making some changes. It's still a work in progress, but you can see there at one point it targets the deer, at another point it targets the player. And if we look a little bit closer, Ballista hates deer. Ballista hates everything. So at the beginning here, you can see that it says it's loaded with 8 of 40, which is an increase from the 20 it has been doing. And it says target Grey Dwarf and set target with trophy. So it's using trophies to decide what it's going to target. That gives us another use for trophies. Then he puts a deer trophy on, and that's why it hates deer. He touches it again, and now Ballista hates everything, which they've said that's not necessarily the final wording of what it's going to say, but it's funny. But for it to hate everything, I wonder how you do that. Do you like set target with an empty inventory slot? And so it empties it out and now it hates everything? I think this is an interesting way of doing it, because the biggest thing was that people at least wanted some kind of option so that it wasn't just automatically killing you. A lot of people were not even going to build it at all. Seriously, they couldn't stand this thing. I've never seen so much controversy. So the people that wanted it left alone, which was the minority, can still do it where it's hating everything, and the people that wanted to be able to have it target in some way and not automatically killed you, then you have an option as well. There was a good question from James Miku on Twitter to programmer J Smars asking, will each shot consume a trophy or does the trophy persist? And thankfully he answered nothing is final, but the trophy is not consumed at the moment. That feels a bit harsh. I'd agree. On the game optimization front, a lot of people have noticed lately these little stagger lag pauses that are happening in game. And Jonathan clarifies too, of course we know there's a save that happens every 30 minutes or when you sleep, the timer's reset. You can do save manually, so you can make that lag happen when you want it to, instead of like when you're in the middle of a battle, you could do it before the battle. However, there is another freeze that can happen every 10 minutes or so for some people, and that one will be fixed in the next patch. Hallelujah. Because I don't know if it's happened to you, but it's happened to me. It's happened to a lot of people, and it's not as big of a lag, but yeah, it can throw you. In another place, he says that there is a fix in the next patch, along with some more performance improvements, with more to come in the future. So that's nice to know that that's on their radar. Make sure to subscribe for all things Valheim. Until next time, happy gaming.